Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Consider It Blacklit. I am Kim, your host and the producer of the show, and today I would like to let you know that you will get two segments. The first, we have a guest host, Donna Johns, who will be joined by Monique Martin, who is the Director of Programming for the Harlem Stage. They will discuss the upcoming season as well as some history about the venue, which is tucked in the heart of Harlem. The second segment will be Shahadi Wright Joseph. If you've seen Jordan Peele's movie Us, she plays the daughter of the Lupita character. She's also an accomplished singer and a dancer. She will talk about her career as well as how she landed that gig in Us. And you will also get a snippet of her singing. She is a phenomenal young lady. You don't want to miss it. So tune in and consider yourself blacklit.
Welcome to Consider It Blacklit, the home of all things African American in film, TV, and stage, in front of and behind the scenes. Today I have the distinct pleasure of bringing to you a Harlem treasure, the Harlem Stage. It's a stunning performance theater situated in Central Harlem. We have our guest today, Director of Programming from Harlem Stage, Monique Martin. Hi, Monique.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Could you tell us a little bit about that beautiful space that we just looked at?
It's a historic building, as you mentioned, in Central Harlem. It was built in the mid-1800s. It's part of the Croton Aqueduct water system.
Wow.
So when, in the 1800s, when New Yorkers were getting ill and dying of waterborne diseases, the aqueduct was created to bring fresh water to Lower Manhattan. To not even Lower Manhattan, it was just called Manhattan at the time, and because it was farmland, of course,
back then,
in what we now call Harlem. So there was a pumping station from Croton, and then Harlem Stage, which is now the gatehouse, was another point for the water. The reservoir in Central Park, and the last destination, Bryant Park. And many people don't know that, and that water still flows to this day.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. So the theater wasn't a theater then, it was the water pumping station, and this was a place where the water would pump and they would close the gates, and they would lift the gates for the water to rush through, similar to a dam. And folks would come up with their families, and that was an activity, to come watch the water flow. And so we like to say that where fresh water flows, now fresh ideas and art and culture flows.
Fresh culture.
Yes,
absolutely.
And
Fresh culture flows now. It's wonderful. So let's talk about the spring 2019 season. You have some really exciting things in store. And let's start with E-Moves.
E-Moves is our signature dance festival, and it was started 20 years ago. The festival, E stands for emerging, evolving, and established, and there's a mix of all three of those categories each season. For the upcoming E-Moves festival, I'm focusing on hip-hop culture and hip-hop dance and emerging artists. So we have some exciting artists that are creating across disciplines within the hip-hop
genre.
Right. Mm-hmm. That includes tap dance, that includes bone breaking, and some of the other more current styles of hip-hop dance. It includes somewhat of modern dance, an infusion of modern dance, African infused or African influenced dance. So, you know, hip hop it's over 40 years old now, and therefore there are artists that are creating out of this genre that are not just what in popular culture people think about street dance or just top rock and b-boys and b-girls. There's a range of it. So I wanted to celebrate the breadth of hip hop dance.
So let's look at a little bit of this dance that she's talking about. It's amazing.
Put your love in survive. Cause I don't wanna lose her. I got my arms all spread. I hope that my heart gets fed. Matter of fact, I'm begging, begging you. Put your loving hand out, baby. Begging you. Put your loving hand out, darling. Begging you. Put your loving hand out, baby.
Monique, can you tell us about It's Showtime specifically?
I'm really proud of this group. This group I met about 5 years ago in my former position before Harlem Stage, and they were just forming. It's Showtime New York. You've heard that saying before.
Yes,
if you're riding
we
the subway,
have.
it's showtime.
Yes, we
and
have.
a lot of the dancers were becoming being targeted, and there was a law passed that you cannot dance or entertain on the subways. So it really impacted Black and brown people. And Mark Moore's dance company and the dance theater studio in Brooklyn came together with Dancing in the Streets, and they created It's Showtime New York with a group of dancers to support them with studio space, with mentorship, and with training. One, so that they're not ticketed and being, fined or in jail, some of them, for something, for celebrating and sharing their art with the public. And a lot of people who come to New York, whether you're from here or whether you are a tourist, you kind of expect there to be public performances. So Mark Morris came together with Dancing in the Street, supported these dancers, and from then to now, they really have evolved. They're now in residence at the Met Museum, and they're doing some incredible work there in the Hall of Arms, and I just saw that recently. They have a couple of other programs coming up, and they will be part of the eMoves celebration and the eMoves Festival, bringing their unique form of dance. And they are, I believe, the youngest group as well.
That's
so we
great.
really are getting a range also of ages and experience in terms
That
of
is
professionalism.
So much and so many exciting things going on at the Harlem Stage. There is a Carnegie citywide program that you're
Yes.
a part of. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Carnegie Hall has been a partner with Harlem Stage and many other institutions across the city. They bring free concerts to all 5 boroughs, so we're very fortunate that we are one of the institutions that they partner with. And I make my suggestions and they come back with artists, so it is definitely a collaborative. I wanted Tia Fuller and they were able to deliver her, so we have Grammy, award-winning and nominated
Awesome.
Tia Fuller. She's coming this May. And we had previously many wonderful artists. So Carnegie Hall Citywide Festival is near and dear to us.
That is great. Great to be a part of. And if I remember correctly, Miss Fuller was a part of Beyonce's
Oh,
touring band
yes.
at one point.
Oh,
so
yes.
you've got the good stuff.
Yeah,
You
she was one
got
of
the
those
good
bad
stuff.
ladies up there.
That's great. That is so wonderful. You also have a spring gala coming up.
We do. We have one fundraiser per year, and that's our spring gala. And this year, we are bringing forward a theme that we had last year, and that is #disruptors. What does it mean to use art to disrupt the status quo and to be a catalyst for change? And it resonated so deeply with our audiences and our artists that we decided let's roll with it this season as well. And in the current climate that we are in this country and the world, with so many
Very timely.
divisive energies to separate us, that
This is
we
timely.
need disruptors.
We
We
do.
need people to say, okay,
do.
wait a minute. So this theme for our spring gala is disruptors then and now and in the future, because we have 2 projects that we're really excited about that's going to launch in the fall, and that is celebrating the Harlem Renaissance Centennial. And secondly, we're celebrating Afrofuturism. So Nona
That's
Hendrix,
great.
it's going to be so super dope. I mean, I'm so excited. I hope I can come back and talk about it. Nona Hendrix is our artistic director and working with me to create all of the programs for Afrofuturism, and they will include film and speculative fiction. We're going to look at Octavia Butler. We're going to look at
that's awesome.
Sun Ra as really the
Awesome.
progenitor of what we now call Afrofuturism. So at the Spring Gala, we will seed that idea, and Nona Hendrix is performing, Craig Harris, Will Calhoun, Vernon Reed, Carl Hancock Ruggs. We're honoring
We've got to be there.
some
We've all
amazing
got to be
artists.
there.
Yeah,
That's
it's going to be really
great,
fantastic,
great,
and we give a great party.
show. That is wonderful, wonderful. Now, classical music is not something typically associated with the Harlem culture, but you do things with that too. Could you tell me a little bit about the chamber music that you have in store for us this spring?
We partner with Chamber Music America, and I want to keep saying partner because that's one of the ways that we're able to do the great work that we do. So we're always looking for collaborators and partners. And Chamber Music America is one of those institutions that supports the growth and the artists in the chamber music canon. And we wanted to look at some of our own artists that are creating chamber music. I mean, chamber music, we have a long history in the African American and just the African diaspora with classical music and chamber music. Some of it is looking to celebrate some of the European classics, and there are artists like James Reese Johnson, James Reese, Europe, and other artists from the Harlem Renaissance and after that created music in the chamber music canon. Yeah,
Wow.
in that genre.
That's
so we want to
awesome.
celebrate those artists that may have been overlooked or may be relegated to more of an academic, you know, setting that
Or just that we might not have been exposed
Exactly.
to, and
Right.
we want to be.
Yes,
So
yes.
thank you for doing that.
So we're
That's
happy
awesome.
that the Chamber Music partners with us because this is another one of our free programs.
Amazing, amazing. And spill the tea. Spill the tea for me, please. Tell me about that celebration, which I
Right.
understand is the second one, the second annual.
Yes. Yes, I really love the way you said spill the tea
Spill
for
the
me
tea,
because
yeah.
that's what it is, to spill the tea.
That's
You want the
it.
news.
That's it.
And last year, I've been at Harlem Stage for 2 years, just about 2 years and change, and the organization has been in existence for 30 years. So I'm excited to marshal the intention and the vision of this organization and also look at where are we now. And the LGBTQI community has not been celebrated uptown as much as I think it should be and as much as Harlem Stage should. So we celebrated last year, we did a Pride event with an artist, Sidra Smith, who's a Harlemite, and she's created a film series. And this year, I wanted to also do another Pride program. And there's an artist, I wanted to focus on men because last year we focused on women with Sidra Smith's series on women. And this year we're looking at the presence of Southern men and
Southern gay
Black gay
experience.
men. And, you know, also that are here, not just in the South because of the Great Migration.
Yeah, our culture traveled with us,
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely. And so what does that mean to be a Black man and to be proudly Southern? And to celebrate your culture. So we have Patrick Johnson, who is an academic and a filmmaker. So he actually has a documentary on Black men in the South. So we're going to show the film, we're going to have a conversation with him, and then we have the fabulous, illustrious Blacks that will also
Wonderful.
perform, and they are super fabulous, DJs, dancers, and performing artists.
You can't get any better than that. You just really can't. That's going to be a great, great, great time. You have an awesome job. Could you tell me how you got to Harlem Stage? How did we get you? How did we get this treasure that is you?
I have to say a big thank you to James King, who is our managing director. He gave me a call. I was thinking about what my next move was after 10 years of summer stage and outdoor presenting, and I wanted to do something where I could support artists in a deeper way. Of course you can present artists, but a lot of artists, especially artists of color, don't have the opportunity and the resources to create new work, and that's something that Harlem Stage is known for. So that's how the call came in, and
You were ready.
I was available, and here I am.
That is awesome. So tickets for all of these wonderful events, harlemstage.org?
Yes. Yes.
harlemstage.org.
And you can also get information on all the social media platforms. So we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, so you can find information there as well.
Yeah, it is wonderful. Well, I'm sure I'm going to be there, and I hope you guys are going to be there too. It is wonderful. I think they are doing things from May through June. We've got EMUs starting on May 2nd. We've got Tia Fuller May 16th. The Spring Gala is on May 20th. Chamber music starts May 31st, and they spill the tea on June 16th. A great, great time at a great, great space. Harlem Stage is located at 150 Convent Avenue. Again, deep in the heart of Harlem. It's wonderful, I'll tell you. It's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful space. You have to come. Thank you so much for joining us today. I had a really good time. And I hope that you guys are going to have a really good time, too, when you go. Consider yourself Black Lit.
I'm here today at the Real Sisters Film Festival Awards ceremony, and performing tonight is Shahadi Wright Joseph.
Hi.
And I am so excited to be here with you. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
When did you know that you wanted to perform?
I think that it was about when I was 8 or 9, when my mom actually found an audition for The Lion King on like the radio. It was like an open call at a theater, and we went at like 6 in the morning, and like I started getting all these callbacks and stuff, and I was like, wow, I think that I could like actually do this.
That's awesome. Now, was that your first professional performance?
Yeah, it was.
Did you ever like perform in school, in this school play?
Yeah, I did do some school plays, and I was in a choir with my sister too.
Oh, okay. Now, I've heard you sing on the videos, and you have a very mature voice. Did you ever study voice, or it just came naturally?
Well, my grandfather was an opera singer, so I think that's where, the whole family kind of gets it from. And we, we're usually always, singing at home and stuff. But I actually started taking vocal lessons right after I actually got Lion King.
Oh, okay. What was that experience like?
It was very different. I mean, I was used to doing, regular scales and warm-ups from choir, but like it was a little bit different because I was having, all this attention on me and my voice. So it was kind of a weird feeling at first, but then I was like, okay, this is all right.
Oh, wow, that's great, that's great. So I read somewhere that you were selected to be in Jordan Peele's movie, Us.
You people.
It's us.
They look exactly like us. They think like us.
Yes. How did that come about?
Well, we actually got, a self-tape audition that that was sent to us from our agent. And we saw it at home, and we read the script, and it was like, the sides, and we were like, this is like really eerie and creepy. We were like, this is not anything that I have done before. So it was, new experiences, something really different. So my dad was like preparing me for the audition for like 3 days.
Wow.
and we did the self-tape, and, that was, the moment that like everything started, going a little bit faster. So.
Okay. So when did you actually get the call that you got the part?
Well, I did a self-tape audition, and then I actually flew out to LA to meet Jordan at an audition for my
What
second
was he
one.
like in person?
Oh, he was really sweet. He's really nice, and he's he's so like focused and he's really precise about what he wants in the movie.
That's
So-
interesting because most people know him as being a comedian, so
Yeah.
I picture that he would be cracking jokes all the time.
Oh yeah, he is, but he is always, you know, he's really precise about what he wants for the movie. So, you know, we see what he wants and then we figure it out, and then, you know, he's cracking jokes, you know, on the radio. We hear from like different scenes and stuff. So that's really cool.
Oh, I also read that you are a mentor and you facilitate workshops at a Class Act New York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about that organization?
Well, a Class Act organization, our family, we found them when we were actually looking for an agent. And that was also when I was in The Lion King on Broadway. So we were looking for an agent and we stumbled upon a Class Act. And, you know, we could do a workshop there in front of all these agents. You know, we sing about 32 bars, and then we do a monologue and we do a commercial. And so we did that in front of like about 20 agents, I think. And we got about 6 calls from agents, and we auditioned for Abrams, you know, a couple days later. And we were like, wow, like, we would have never found Abrams if it wasn't for a Class Act. So once I got into School of Rock, a Class Act asked me to teach a couple of workshops for them to teach like some choreography and some of the music there.
Oh, great, great. Well, you're a very poised and very impressive young lady.
Thank
and I look
you.
forward to hearing you sing later on tonight. Thank you so much for participating in the Real Sisters Awards ceremony.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi.
I know, hug, kiss.
Mwah. Mwah.
I found myself daydreaming in a better world. Memories can bleed in my open heart. London clouds are crying, but I'm dancing in the pouring rain. Grown-up life is to learn not to fall apart. And I'm closer to high vibrations, working in a sweet and deeper way. And what I can do to make it, to be at peace and be true to me in every way. I know I'll be alright. I know that I'll survive. I know I'll rise above it, 'cause I believe in love. And even when it's hard, living with my scars, it never amounts to nothing, 'cause I believe in love. Nobody tells me how to grow, no, I just gotta know. Emotional, but I want to find myself on the path. Balance is key, understanding I won't be always in control. Sometimes the right road is by taking the broken path, but I'm closer to high vibrations, working in a sweet and deeper way. And what I can do to make it, to be at peace and be true to me in every way. I know I'll be alright. I know that I'll survive. I know I'll rise above it, 'cause I believe in love. And even when it's hard, living with my scars, it never amounts to nothing, 'cause I believe in love. Keep it simple, follow my heart. This love I'm into Thank